Tips there from Dr. Narang. Right now we're talking to Krystal Garib, who is an actor, producer, and choreographer. We're talking about Shakespeare Revisited, www.shakespearerevisited.com. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Good. Well, let's hear all about it. Talk to us about Shakespeare Revisited.
I'm really excited about the show. It's going to be happening this weekend coming up on Sunday, and it's a Gladstone hotel at the Gladstone. And I'm excited because I've asked different artists of all backgrounds, like actors and singers and dancers. We even have a rapper to take a sonnet and kind of like interpret that in their medium. So it'll be really interesting to see how the whole show comes together, because I think it's pretty different. I don't know if anything like this has ever been done before. So.
No, and it's interesting because an antique song, the Sonnets Shakespeare, is what it's titled, and it's a speech benefit for speech impediments.
Exactly.
Talk more about that. I found that very interesting.
Yeah, I grew up with a speech impediment, a stutter actually, and when I was younger, it was really bad. Like I would go through just like times where I couldn't speak at all. And I have I found with Shakespeare, like the rhythm of the language, like the flow of it, it helps with speech because it has a flow, and it's really helped me. So I thought, you know, it all like comes together, like it all ties in together. So I thought it would be like the perfect way to put on a benefit like this with this kind of theme.
Yeah,
so,
interesting.
So even despite that kind of challenge, you basically persevered as an actor and a songwriter and a playwright. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that career and some of your highlights?
Well, I started with dance. Like that's been my main area, and I think a lot of it was because of the speech thing, because I had issues with speech and stuff. So that's where I really focus, like with dance, like jazz, tap, and ballet, and like in choreography now. Like I'm doing a lot of that. So that's where it's like all kind of started. And I've done theater and film, and I'm just like, I love to do like new stuff. And now like producing, to do like your own work has been really rewarding already. So I think I'm kind of
and it's kind of an inspiration too, so anybody kind of out there who does suffer from a speech impediment, to kind of see you mentioning that, you know, growing up it was very, very bad, and you've taken that, and now you're, I mean, an actor, you know, producer, and you've taken that and you speak wonderfully.
Oh,
it's very motivating.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's, I mean, I think for anybody who has something like this, we try to think, oh, you know, it's all in your head, like you don't have it, like mind over matter, this and that. And I use that kind of like that way of thinking like for myself before, and it didn't really help. So now that I've kind of come to terms with it and been like accepting about it, it's helped. Now I'm like, okay, it's not as bad. So I think that's kind of why I want to like help people who have this, because it can be really frustrating.
Of course.
Like we take it for granted.
Absolutely.
You know? Just to be able to speak normally and you know, have conversations.
And use Shakespeare to basically better your, you know, in the interest in the arts. And this event is happening this weekend. Where do you hope this is going to go after this? Is there any plans in the future for other shows? I
would love for it to turn into like a series of shows, because you know, like with Shakespeare, like the content, there's so much content, and you can take any like you can do anything with it, really, any interpretation of it. And so hopefully, you know, if this goes well, I would love for it to become a series and get to do other things, kind of incorporate that as well.
Now, are any of the proceeds going to, is it going to,
yeah,
tell us about the organization.
The Speech Institute of Ontario, all proceeds are going to go to this this organization to help kids and adults who suffer from this. So yeah, so I'm excited about it.
What are some of the sonnets that people can look forward to hearing, and what kind of interpretation? I'm curious to see which one the rapper will pick, for example.
Oh my God, I don't want to give too much away, but actually, no, it's going to be, there's about, I think, 18 artists, and they all have their own sonnet that they picked, that they connected with. And so with the dancing, I mean, it's going to be interesting again to see how it all comes together, because even I don't know exactly what's going to happen until the rehearsal, right?
So, are you going to be performing something in there?
I'm going to be singing with a group of people. So like I'm not going to be doing my own thing. Like I just wanted to kind of put everything together, and I've asked all these people that I really respect and admire. So, and everybody has been so supportive and awesome about it. So I think it's going to be a great show. I'm really excited.
Wonderful. And of course, maybe talk about some of your personal experiences with the singing and being, of course, an Indian artist. Tell us about that.
Well, I started my first show when I was 18 or 19 in New York on Broadway. It was Bombay Dreams. So that was kind of how I got into the acting and singing, because I started with dance. So I was cast in the show, and then that's like how I got introduced to acting, singing. So I kind of, after that, I pursued that, and then I came here to Toronto to do the Lord of the Rings, and that was all singing, like for the females. So that for me was definitely a challenge, because I dance, and that was kind of my area. So to be challenged with the singing and stuff, and to read music and all that was really cool. But yeah, so I'm really interested into pursuing that, and of course with fashion and dance. Hopefully it all comes
So
together.
you're fusing this all together. And the
Yeah.
Shakespeare Revisited happening this weekend. All the information will be on the board. Thank you so much, Krystal, for joining us
Thank you so much for having
here
me.
today. A great event. You should definitely go and check it out. We'll be back here on Daytime. Stick around.